Hi everybody, welcome. On the 2nd of January of 2022, we have our first new moon of the year, and it's going to be at 12 degrees and 19 minutes of Capricorn. So the first new moon of the year sets the flavor. And believe it or not, we're going to end this year, coming up 2022, also with a new moon in Capricorn. So if you like, this year is bookended by new moons in Capricorn. So what's the frequency? What's the resonance that we're working with? Capricorn has to do with organization, structure, systems. And the fact that it's a new moon would suggest that we're going to be creating new structures in our governments, in the way that we run ourselves and our societies, and new structures for yourself in the way that you want to run your life. And because it's ruled by Saturn, it's all about you taking charge, you being responsible, you being an adult and standing up for yourself and whatever is important to you. So Saturn energy is very strong this year because we've got Pluto in these last degrees of Capricorn all year. And we've also got the Pluto return of the United States. So we're going to see huge possibilities of new ways in which we can make our societies work. Now, we've got Saturn, ruler of this new moon, is in Aquarius, and it is very strongly square to Uranus pretty much all year, but very much so at the time of this new moon. So this would indicate that the birthing of these new structures may be challenging. It's not going to be just, a smooth sail. This is about Uranus in Taurus trying one thing, trying another thing. They're going to have to include new ways of working with Mother Earth. We've got 5 planets of the 10 in Earth signs starting out this year, this new moon. So what can you do to be really Earth, to be really grounded? What can you do to be really resilient and strong? I'm learning to adapt my body to be able to cope with cold, to not be so pathetic when the weather drops and the temperature drops considerably in the winter time here in Greece. I'm training myself mentally to be stronger. So what do you want to train yourself to be, to do, to have, to experience that gives you this sense of control? Because Saturn likes to be in control. So we're looking here at a lovely trine with Uranus. So if we will work with our Mother Earth, if we will respect her, if we work with our earth, our food, and also how we're going to work with money, because there's been a lot of recklessness and a lot of misuse of funds and money. How are we going to change that? So here we've got these lovely opportunities to begin to work with the earth. I think many of you may really get involved with projects to do with food, to do with distribution, to do with health, to do with organic, to do with herbs and medicines and everything that is natural. We're looking at a movement that is very much nature. And how can we inventively find new ways of growing things, Maybe if we get very cold snaps, which we might, I know there's a lot of talk of global warming, but to me, it looks as though we're going to get extremes of heat, extremes of cold, and how adaptable can we be with our food supplies and all the things that we need during this time. So I would suggest that you get some warm clothes if you haven't already. I would suggest that you've got plenty of extra blankets and things so that you are prepared. Saturn energy loves to be prepared. And as we move into the new year, what a better time really than to start the year with making these preparations real and tangible. This Saturn square Uranus does suggest that there's going to be more uprisings, more revolts from the people about unfairness, people just not taking the narrative. And also, with Jupiter now in Pisces, just gone into Pisces, and beginning its approach to Neptune, where it will conjunct in April of 2022, April 12th, we're getting this sense of what can you believe? Who can you believe? Who do you trust? And it's going to be very much about going inside and trusting your own voice and your own intuition, and then acting on that. Does this feel right? Am I getting messages that this doesn't quite feel right? Do I need to move? Do I need to move location? Or should I stay put and really get centered and grounded where I am? Certain communities are likely maybe to be blown apart, certain things that you've got used to, and new communities will be formed. So if you like, there's going to be some nice smooth sailing energy, especially if you tune into the animals, the trees, and those kind of frequencies, especially with the non-verbal world. That will be very, very beneficial at this time and during this year. This is just, we're getting the frequency of the year to come. So we've got Venus is retrograde. So I think there's going to be a reworking of the financial systems. I think money is going to be very unstable, but this here indicates Jupiter and Neptune indicates very high inflation. It's already happening, but I don't think it's really hit people yet what inflation will mean. We'll either get very strong inflation or very strong deflation. The result is similar in that your pension, the things that you've saved, become worth less or worth a whole lot less than you anticipated. So it's about learning to be frugal, to be thrifty, to find skills that you've got that you can use that are really practical and useful. That's going to be the wave of this energy that takes us into this new year. Pluto conjunct to this Venus, I think we're going to see a lot of corruption coming out, a lot of lies, a lot of deceit that's been carried out to do with money and finance. I would say there's going to be a lot of speculative bubbles, possibly with possibilities of making huge amounts of money and equally of losing huge amounts of money. So my suggestion would be, in the spirit of Capricorn, is to play it conservatively and carefully if you're not a big risk taker and you don't want to face potential losses of money that you can't afford to lose. Water, I think we're going to see more, lots of rainfall, potentially flooding, potentially lots of emotionality, but at the same time, a deep desire for peacefulness, for quietness, and for an overall connection. I think we're also going to see a very big wave of interest in fish, in seas, in the oceans, and what the oceans are also trying to tell us. What are the messages that Mother Earth is trying to tell us? And I think many of you will be working with this in one way or another. So, what are your priorities? And what are the physical steps you are going to take to organize yourself, to prepare yourself, to be resilient best you can for this coming year? It can be very exciting and very fulfilling, and it can really bring you together with a lot of people who will be on the same page as you are. So I want to thank you very much for listening. I want to wish you a very happy new year, a very productive, efficient, enjoyable new year. Much love to you. Bye for now.